You hosted a SportsCenter special on Tuesday. Talked about a lot of things during that hour. During it, you asked if Kawhi Leonard is the best player in the world. On the panel, Michael Wilbon, Doc Rivers, the Clippers head coach, as well as Magic Johnson. Doc followed up Magic's comments. His answer has now gotten him into some hot water. Take a listen.
The most like Jordan that we've seen. Like, there's a lot of great players. LeBron is phenomenal.
Yeah.
KD is phenomenal. Not that he is Jordan or anything like that, but he's the most like him. Big hands, post game, great leaper, great defender, in between game. If you beat him to the spot, bumps you off.
Yep.
And then you add his three-point shooting.
All right, the NBA, from those comments by Doc Rivers, has now fined the Clippers $50,000 based on what they call tampering. Here's what Commissioner Adam Silver told the Boston Globe. Doc has been at this for a long time. Head coaches or team executives in those positions, you just say, I'm not permitted by the league to respond to that question. And it's a balance of interest. I understand that. But he unfortunately crossed a bright line, end quote. Stephen A. Smith, your reaction.
Well, my initial reaction, I was incredibly disappointed by the league's decision. I thought that it was grotesquely unfair simply because ESPN, we had marketed the fact that Doc Rivers, along with Magic Johnson and Michael Wilbon, were coming up on the show days in advance. It was very, very clear that it was a SportsCenter special and an NBA Finals preview. So if there was going to be any kind of an issue, I would think that the league would have contacted Doc Rivers. They would have contacted us or whatever the case may be.
But why? Just to say don't talk about Kawhi Leonard?
Just to make sure you're reminding Doc Rivers, excuse me, you can't talk about an individual player. We're talking about an NBA Finals preview, for crying out loud. And last time I checked, Kawhi Leonard is the star of the Toronto Raptors. But in fairness to the league, I did speak to the league office earlier today, about an hour or so ago, and they reminded me that, excuse me, we fined Magic Johnson for similar comments about the Greek Freak that people thought were relatively innocuous and was undeserving of a fine, because he was talking about how he thought the Greek Freak was going to take the Milwaukee Bucks to the championship one day. So that should not have been finable, but nevertheless it was, and we have to be consistent, particularly when other teams in the league are calling us, demanding that we be consistent. So that leaves me here today, sitting here feeling very contrite, like it's pretty much my fault. It was my special. I put it together. I was the one that asked Doc Rivers that question, and I feel some level of responsibility, and I'm very apologetic about it.
Did you talk to Doc?
Not yet.
Plan to?
I tried to reach him on a couple of occasions within the last hour, but I was coming over here for SportsCenter, but I'm sure I'll speak to him later.